Hi YouTube, welcome to another race video. Today we have another fixie race. This one took place in Zurich in Switzerland. It was the third of a 3-race series that I did back in 2018, starting with the London race that I posted about previously. Then we did a race a few days after that in the Netherlands, and then this race in Switzerland was the third one. This race had a characteristic that I believe to be the hardest element of a fixed gear criterium, which is the 180-degree turn or U-turn. I personally really struggle with these. These are really hard on a fixed gear. So I'm going to show you guys what it's like to race in such a course at the highest level of fixed gear criterium. So let's get into this.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So we'll start with the qualifier. Again, like in the race in London, you have to qualify to be able to race in the final later that same day. So this qualifier was a long one of 29 laps. It started really hard. We only had 2 qualifiers, so there were strong guys in both. As you see, out of every corner we're going over 1,000 watts and then braking really hard into the 90-degree turns. So you saw we started right after this corner. So this is the U-turn. You have to go pretty much to 0 speed and then just burst out again. I really struggle with these, always have, still do to these days. Again, here we go again, 6 laps in, I'm third wheel. I try to stay as close to them as possible, go a little too wide, and then a couple of people go around me. So you see I'm still doing 900 watts, and yet someone was going around me. So you see these are really hard. The goal in this specific race is to be in the top 50%, so that then I get to race in the final later that same day. So the guy in front of me we've seen in the previous video, a guy that has podiumed at Red Hook Criterium, and so here you see 12 laps in, almost halfway, and I'm already struggling to come out of the U-turn with the front guys. Fortunately, in this specific case, a guy came around and helped, but 13 laps in, I'm already really struggling to stay in this front group because of that U-turn. So we're going really fast. That guy opens a little gap. I go around just to basically make the most of these sections of the course that I am good at and to get to this corner in the best position possible. Shout out to my mom right there. My parents came out to support in this race in Switzerland. And so here you see 14 laps in, pretty much halfway, and I'm losing the wheel on that U-turn. I'm putting a lot of power, but I'm just not using the right technique on that U-turn. It's a super hard thing to master, and these guys are world class. Obviously, they have figured it out, at least the ones in the front group. So 15 laps in, I'm going towards the back of this front group. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm in 9th position at this point, and I just start getting dropped pretty much. 9th position will secure me a spot in the final. Here you see I don't lose sight of them, but just lose them, and I'm not able to stay in that front group. So I qualify in the top 10 for the final, and here we go for the final race. Huge group, as you see, very, very big names. The race ended up being won by Iman Lucas. Again, my goal is to just survive that corner and see how many laps I can last. I pretty much try to move myself towards the front of the group in these straights and 90-degree corners that I am good at, and then be in a good position to do the 180-degree turn. So you see, field's pretty big. I didn't have a rear view camera, but I'm pretty much halfway through the field as we finish this first lap at a really high pace and are about to hit the 180-degree turn for the first time. At this point, we're on the second lap. Some gaps are starting to open. This is a section again that I'm good at, so I go around these guys, make sure I move myself up to stay in contact with the front group for as long as I can. Here we are literally at the back of said front group. See guys skidding into that corner. There's my parents. Hey, shout out again. It's getting into this corner and then just bursting out with as much power as you can. It's a super hard thing to do over and over and over again. At this point, I'm pretty sure this is again when I lose contact with the front group, 4 laps in, and then I pretty much try to last as long as I can inside the race until I get pulled. So this guy comes around, and I think there's a couple of guys behind me. We try to work together for a while to help each other stay in the race. Yeah, so there's those 2 guys, and the third one that we saw previously, and then myself. We have this little group of 4, just trying to stay in the race. So 12 laps in, we have a pretty big gap to the front group. Again, I'm struggling with this U-turn, trying to stay in contact with these guys, and you saw some more guys drop there behind us. Fortunately, I end up being the last guy out of this group to be caught by the motorcycle, so I placed pretty good. It was the last of a series of races I was doing, so you could say I was pretty empty. I want to share with you guys this detail of fixed gear racing that I find super interesting. It is, in my opinion, one of the, if not the hardest element of fixed gear racing. And I have a few more to show you guys in the future, so stay tuned, subscribe, like the video. It helps more people find it. If you like these videos a lot and would like to support me making those, I have a Patreon page, which I'll link below. See you guys on the next one.